want to alert our viewers to weakness in some of the nation's, or the stocks of some of the nation's larger providers of broadband, led by our parent company Comcast, shares of which have been down as much as 5%. It does appear linked to comments from Comcast Chief Financial Officer Michael Cavanaugh at an investment conference this morning. Mr. Cavanaugh talking about the disruption to the business from COVID in terms of how it's disrupted the patterns of customers in terms of their moving or back to school. But then he went on to say, commenting sort of on the most recent past, quote, so what we're seeing in the most recent past, like the tail end of August, is a little bit of a slowdown in the net adds in the cable business. That does appear to have been enough to knock these shares down, as I said, pretty significantly. Also shares of Charter, one of the also larger broadband providers in the country, smaller provider Altice US also down. He went on to talk about the third quarter. The trend is in line, he said, for the third quarter, the quarter we're in now, in terms of net adds with historical averages. But that would be behind the third quarter of 2019, which was a record third quarter. He did go on to say if you put the second and third quarters together this year, you'll be about 10% better combined over those 6 months than you were versus the same 6 months for 2019. But certainly some weakness that we notice in Comcast shares, and did want to share that with our viewers.
Yeah, that's really interesting, especially as it pertains to the mobility of people. We talk all the time about this migration to the suburbs or different areas, and the rental market, of course, has seen a recent uptick as people do move back into the cities. But as people are doing these frequent moves, one thing that you don't think about as frequently is that second derivative of what do you do about your cable subscriptions?
Do you choose to reattach or not, or maybe you lag in doing so? Yeah. So.
Also, so much investment is tied to getting your streaming businesses running. Exhibitors, obviously, we're going to talk about movie theaters in a moment.
Yeah.
And the way Delta's impacted theme parks is still very much in question.
Without a doubt, hitting a lot of different. Now, I do notice there is some weakness as well in Fox and Viacom, Discovery. Unclear whether that would be related to this at all. Obviously, their direct-to-consumer platforms rely on people having a broadband connection. But again, weakness overall led by Comcast.